Hey everybody, Chris here. We've got some Dogecoin Divergence to talk about today. We're going to explore that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. It is the day after Thanksgiving, and volume is really low because no trading in the United States on Thursday for stocks, and Friday, today, it's only a half-day trading, usually low volume in the stock market too. Usually not a lot of volatility, not much moving, and we see that across the crypto markets as well. However, there are still a lot of sort of negative sentiment around Bitcoin. We'll show that on the chart. RSI is really, really low, and also social media sentiment still low. Bitcoin still on the edge of extreme fear on the Fear and Greed Index, while Dogecoin is still comfortably up in the upper range of fear, almost back to neutral, but there's still some dark storm clouds looking there. It doesn't look like a full reversal going on. Is this a relief rally? It's kind of on a pause right now. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts on the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Let me start here looking at the current Dogecoin price, just over 15 cents. Bitcoin is at 91.8, trying to get above 92. Bitcoin is showing a little more strength right now and resilience than Doge. This is the 15.4 line here. Again, during Thanksgiving, touched above 15.4 a couple times, but couldn't hold it. So we zoom out to the daily chart, and we're looking at pretty much the same thing as we've been watching before from earlier in October. Dogecoin was up 27 cents. We had the October 10th flash crash. Everything changed there. Going sideways in our purple box, drops down to the red box, and we are trying to reclaim that with Dogecoin. Bitcoin did have a more sharp drop over the past couple of weeks in November, but is making a more solid rebound. When we look at this, we look like that could be that relief rally happening. So this hasn't changed on Bitcoin for a relief rally and then some pullback as we head into 2026. And it wouldn't be straight down, of course. And I drew this kind of yellow sketchy thing here showing, yeah, it would be an up and down price action. And so if Doge follows Bitcoin, we would expect to see something similar for Doge, maybe a little more dramatic up and then more dramatic down again. We still have our magnet up here at 30 cents, trying to get Doge to come up. And then, of course, there's always the wild card with XMoney. And if XMoney does launch here, we could see a much more explosive price increase in Doge. So none of that thesis really changes. On the daily, Dogecoin is weak. Below both the 50 and 200-day moving averages, Bitcoin as well. So there is fear in the market as we are looking at the day after Thanksgiving. Overall, Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Doge hold steady. Crypto market total valuation is back over 3 trillion. Remember, we were 4 trillion not too long ago, and now it's 3 trillion, and we're celebrating that. We've got a long ways to go. Trader Allen, looking at Bitcoin, is looking at a bullish divergence. As we zoom back, looking back into 2024 in the summer, we have had higher lows on Bitcoin, and the RSI has had lower lows. That is a hidden bullish divergence. So does that necessarily mean that price is going to increase and go to a higher high? Not necessarily, if we are indeed in a full bear market. So this has the setup to me as a relief rally. It's going to fake a bunch of people out and go lower. That would be typically what we would see in a bearish situation. Merlin Trader is looking positive though. When Bitcoin enters the fear box, this is where bottoms form, chop, shake out, lift off. Smart traders aren't scared. They're getting positioned. Don't chase the pumps. Buy where others hesitate. The only problem with that is if we indeed have a little bit of relief rally and it goes back down into this area, if the bears really control, you'll be buying. I mean, you won't be buying the tops, right? And certainly not at 126, but you would be buying still relatively high. We get back up over 92,000, 94,000, maybe even 100K, and then drops lower, then you're buying a little high. But that is how trading goes. You have to take some risk in crypto in order to make it. Fortunately, that is a situation we're in. Now, this comparison that we were following since 2023 of the Bitcoin price with the global M2 liquidity with a 3-month lead, that was tracing pretty well until this summer. And what happened this summer with that 3-month lag in M2 money supply? Well, the M2 money supply continued up, Bitcoin flattened out, and then now is dropping. So there is a divergence here between Bitcoin and global liquidity. What happened to Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin not following global liquidity? If you haven't been paying attention, October 10th, that flash crash changed everything in crypto, brought in all this fear, now extreme fear, with all of the manipulation of the markets, which I've been talking about now for a solid month and a half. Most of you who've been watching me understand that, know what's going on, know the manipulation in the market. It continues. And that's a big battle. And it's amazing how, as Bitcoin price is going down, shown even more by Crypto Rover's chart here, with this big sharp drop in Bitcoin, this is zoomed out on the weekly chart, that been taking out all of these leverage longs. And the shorts are building up here. We will be looking at the heat maps during my next live stream, which will be Friday afternoon. Yes, the day after Thanksgiving, we'll have a live stream. We'll get back into that for Friday and catch up on the total, the week's trading. But we will be looking at those heat maps as well. And I'll show you all the shorts just piling up. And in fact, they go up way above 126K, up to 130K, millions and millions of dollars of shorts. And they're all winning right now. Now, a relief rally would take out a number of those shorter term shorts, but there's some longer ones that are still open. And those shorters are they're just piling in the cash, right? They're just waiting for big profits. When are they going to close those shorts? A relief rally may lead to some of them being closed. But again, if they believe in the relief rally, the next move would be down lower. Dogecoin price, it's between a rock and a hard place. That's right. We have seen a gradual decline overall in the price of Doge over the last few weeks, and got some recovery going on, but now it seems to be just chopping around sideways below this 15.4 line. RSI is down. We've got the MACD down, and you would expect on those kinds of indicators, we would see that next move up. We could, with a relief rally as we enter into December, but that may be all it is. Dogecoin shows controlled strength. Traders are eyeing key resistance above. Where are those resistance levels? Again, we look at where the next move of Dogecoin could be. And I mean, over the summer, we had this penny at a time thing, which was awesome, right? Could we get back into that stage and get some positive movement in the market? But stuck right now, right in the low 15s, better than 14 and 13, no doubt, but stuck here. And we'll see next week as we get into December where we see some gradual acceleration of at least a relief rally. Many still talking about recovery and extended cycles and all of that. We talked the other day about all the good things that are coming up in 2026 for the whole crypto market. We'll revisit those again. But sometimes the news is one thing and the actual trading is something else. So Dogecoin pauses after gains, setting up for a possible sharp move. There are many indicators, many people talking about still that whole setup from extreme fear, low RSI, low MACD, leading to price recovery. And Trader Allen, of course, he's right here, right? He's looking back overall, and in this entire bull 4-year cycle, of which we may have just topped, or at least on Bitcoin, we may have topped in maybe that 48-cent price that we had in Doge a year ago. That might have been the top for Doge for this cycle. But if you zoom out and you look at the much bigger picture here on the weekly, you see there usually is a blow-off top that would be much more than what we had a year ago, November, December 2024, because we never really had that blow-off price momentum oscillator, or PMO. It was just a little guy here. Was that all we get? Or are we going to have another explosion in the price of Doge? Many are still believing, though, that the bearish market signals, long-term rebound potential remains. But right now, overall, despite low RSI, low MACD, low social sentiment, right now, crypto is not where the money is flowing. It is flowing more into the stock market, a lot still in gold because of uncertainty in the overall economic condition of really the world and what's going on around the world. So, and one other thing, just the latest, as I continue to follow what's going on with XMoney, I certainly still believe XMoney is going to launch. We see these little bits of news about the beta test, XMoney account still showing 2020-25 launch. But we know that there's a partnership with Visa, and the latest news is Visa is integrating stablecoin payments. This is what I've been saying, guys, and you've heard me say it, that my fear, right? It's not really a fear. I mean, it's still good for Elon and XMoney to be able to have a platform where digital currencies can actually thrive, and X would be one of those. But the partnership with Visa, which they have, is pointing more towards stablecoins. As I've been saying, my opinion is Dogecoin is not going to be fully integrated into X. Now, when XMoney launches, there will be a pump, I think, because many will have this expectation that Dogecoin is going to be involved somehow. And I still think Elon could do that on the fringes, right? With maybe a tipping feature or content creator payouts in Doge or something like that. But across the overall XMoney platform, I think it's going to be fiat first, and then it's going to probably go to stable coins, and this is it. The biggest payments network on earth, running crypto rails, but it's not crypto, it's stable coins. It's stable coins, as I've been talking about for the last 6 months. Soon as the Genius Act, right, in the United States started, it was all about stable coins, not Bitcoin strategic reserve or cryptocurrencies. It's all about stable coins. And this is just another view of that. So this is what we have for the overall view. Bitcoin now over 92,000 as I'm recording, and Dogecoin trying to recover to get back up into the red box as this next move we have for Doge. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the current price movement of Dogecoin and this divergence that's happening right now in the crypto market. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.